So Louis, how's a traditional marketing agency structured, and how would that be different at Decipher Marketing? How are we trying to do things differently to be able to disrupt this industry?
Yeah, well, at a more established traditional marketing agency, your big names that if you're a graduate you might look to go and work for, it's a lot more bureaucratic. It can take a lot more time for you to get hands on things. So obviously there's different sides of the agency. You might be on the marketing side, where as a graduate your goal is to get working on live campaigns as quick as possible, right? Moving the needle for Google pay-per-click campaigns, meta ad campaigns, whatever you want to be doing. But in reality, with the layers of people that will be on your team, you have your junior marketing execs, your senior marketing execs. There's so many layers before you start to even get touching the campaigns that it can be a bit of a drag on, if you want rapid progression, it can be a bit of a drag on your career. And of course, it can be an invaluable experience, but let's say you're working on a large campaign and your main role is working on one sub-segment of the SEO of a huge household name. That might look great on your CV in theory.
It's not making much difference for the actual company.
But some of the work you do might not even have any impact on the campaign. It may not even reach the campaign. That's not because you're rubbish or your work's bad. It's just because there's so many layers of management it has to get to, and it has to get signed off and regulatory and la-di-da-di-da before it actually hits the campaign. So it can be a little bit more difficult for, on the marketing side, someone that wants to come in and make a difference. It can be quite difficult for them to feel that. Equally on the client success side, again, it sounds great to be working with big household names, I'm a success rep for our SEO branch with Nike. And that sounds fantastic, but it's probably going to be years before you even talk to anyone from Nike, because really you have your manager that's actually talking to the client, and then they're relaying information to you, and you're really just, it's always a trickle down.
Right? Even if you do talk to someone from Nike, they'll probably be at a lower level as well. So
right.
It's not like you're talking to the CEO of Nike, you're just talking to someone who's on the same level as you. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas I was going to say, in terms of the client success role, like let's say a client success rep, you're not talking to the CEO of a roofing business because that doesn't exist. But you are talking to the owner of a business, and you're giving them advice, and you're telling them how we do things and different ideas that they could implement in their own marketing alongside our performance marketing that will actually make a big difference in their business. Like, we get messages, don't we, from clients saying, like, you've changed my life. Like, the work that we're doing here, I know it's not like we're not saving world hunger or something, like getting people's roofs done, but it does actually make a big difference because these businesses are small to medium sized. The work that we do can actually make a really big difference.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you were to drive £20,000 worth of sales extra to a company that does $1 billion a year in turnover, the needle doesn't even move.
Yeah.
But if it's, as you say, or like a plumber that turns over $1 million a year, you just increase their top line number by 25%. That's a gigantic difference. They really feel that. They really appreciate that.
That's money in their back pocket.
Yeah.
For a lot of them. Like.
Yeah. Like it makes a real difference to the business. You can see the tangible impact you're having. And then if you put it in the lens of us at Decipher Marketing, obviously we want to grow, and let's be honest, our goal is to make our clients a lot of money, a great return on their ad spend. And they decide...
That's the only way they stay with us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they decide, well, where should I reinvest some of this profit? Well, this has worked, so why don't I reinvest it back into more advertising? Maybe a higher budget on their existing campaign, maybe a different platform altogether. That's how we as a business grow. The easiest people to sell to is your own clients.
And then let's say, as a marketing executive, if you're assigned to that client and you have lots of clients that you're working for, then, as you say, if a client made a load of money and wanted to reinvest, you could be the one to come to them with the idea of, we're running meta ads at the moment, let's do Google ads. How does your website look? How does your Google business profile look? We're actually coming up with ideas on the spot and being able to diagnose the problems for these guys and actually give them the best solution instead of just something that lines our pockets and doesn't really make a difference. Like, what if we did a brand advertising campaign that didn't bring in any leads? Like, there's no point. We actually only want to be doing stuff that makes these guys directly money.
Yeah, of course, exactly. As you say, moves the needle. And also, if we think about the sort of talented people that will join a fast-moving company like ours, we're not naive. A lot of them will go on and do fantastic things. They might go and start their own company for themselves,
Yeah.
right? And in reality, what's going to give you more exposure and equip you with the right skills to go and do that? Is it, working on a tiny subsection of ad copy for a massive campaign that you can't move the needle for? Or is it a campaign where you control the meta, you control the Google, you can see the relationship between both campaigns, now you can drive one to the other, bring down overall cost per lead.
Top and bottom of funnel.
Yeah, exactly.
Marketing, yeah.
Full scope campaign management, essentially. That gives you a lot more of a skill set to go out and by the way, I hope we don't lose our talented people. We want them to stay with us for a long time. And there's obviously, we give people a lot of room for progression in their careers where they can progress very quickly, take up management positions if that's what they aspire to do, take up leadership positions if that's what they aspire to do. But ultimately, because of the hands-on role they get to take and the amount of skills they build so quickly, we are going to lose some talented people to doing their own thing, but that's the price you pay of working with great people.
I like the phrase, our vision needs to be so big so that other people's big vision can fit inside it.
Yeah, I like that.
So I want to bring people along who have a really big vision that test me. So I'm like, wow, I need to be thinking bigger so that this person sticks around, can actually grow inside our company that we're trying to build.
Yeah, of course.
Like we don't want to just stand still and be like, oh, we're doing a couple of million a year or something like that, and then we'll be fine. Like, we just want to grow every year, keep growing, because we know once we've done roofing now, we can go into solar, then we can go into bathrooms, then we can go into landscaping, then driveways and patios, and then there's hundreds of niches here, and that's just in small businesses.
Yeah.
And we'd be quite happy to go into enterprise one day. Like, there's so many ideas for what the company can do, but initially, it's all about that focus, and that's where the pod structure, which we talked about in one of our other videos, works really well, because we can really pinpoint that focus each time on opening one of those new pods, and everyone that joins us can become specialized in those pods, and then we can grow in a really systemized way where it's like, oh, okay, we know how much one pod can do, then we just double it, and then we triple it, and then we quadruple it.
Yeah.
And we just keep going like that. And that can take us a long way.
Yeah, and what's important as well is that, because I think it can be a bit of a misconception, if early on in your career you specialise in something, that you're pigeonholed into that thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously at Decipher Marketing, we're really big on internal mobility, right? So somebody does a fantastic job as a marketing executive in the solar side of things. Then we're going to open up a new pod, right? We need to take our most talented people, unfortunately, from some of our existing pods, but we need to take them across to start the new pod to ensure its success and the growth that we know we can achieve in a pod very quickly. That then means that, yes, you have a skill set in solar, and you might be taking that and tweaking it into another industry, but the absolute fundamentals you'll learn are incredibly transferable. But that way we can give people access and hands-on experience with actual live campaigns, moving the needle for clients, and then we can say, spread your wings, now go and run a team.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that, at the end of the day, we are only as good as our people. And back before we ran the company, I used to hear other companies say that when I was at uni looking at doing different careers, and I never quite understood, like, why are these huge companies, household names, so still big about saying, oh yeah, we need to hire and attract the best talent? Because I thought you're always going to attract the best talent. But now owning a business and knowing that it is difficult to attract the best people, but it's so important you do so.
Yeah. And we can't grow further, just the three of us.
Yeah.
There's only three founders at the moment.
Yeah.
We've done a lot. I think we've gone a lot further than we thought we'd be able to do with three.
Yeah.
But now it's like the wheels are falling off. We need talented people to come in.
Yeah.
And really lift this organisation up, because I think the reason it works so well now is because our service is so productized. So even though it feels stressful, our clients still get the same experience every time.
Yeah.
Like, for our clients, it's no different.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like, oh my God, I'm going here. It'll be nice to have someone really talented to come in and help us out with that. And that leads me on to our next point, which is talking about the career progression at Decipher and why that might be different than in a big agency. And for me, it's all down to the fact that the speed and agency as well.
Yeah.
So we want people who come in, take agency, and actually want to progress really quickly.
Right.
Because we're growing so quickly, if you come in and within 3 months you're like, I'm ready to be a manager, if we say, oh yeah, you are ready, and we've got 2 more guys coming in here who are coming in at a junior level that you can manage, because we're growing so quickly, we have that opportunity for people to actually manage people once they've learnt the skills. Whereas at other companies, it might be a long time before you're actually managing anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, the other way I sort of think about it is, if you were to take quite a literal example, if you think of like a sports team, a football team or something like that, and somebody really talented came through at a really young age, they don't get held back. It's not like we have to wait until you've had 6-7 years of experience. They go straight into the team. They go straight into the top. Because they really need talented, whether it be football, so football players, they really need talented people on the team to go and achieve whatever they want to in terms of the club's success. And with a company, I view it as the exact same. And that's where working at a faster paced startup like us is a little bit different to a traditional agency, because in a traditional agency, there are some things which they do require you to have a minimum amount of time in. And if you think about, for example, if you're dealing with a massive enterprise client and a really talented, straight out of uni, 22-year-old came in, the company can't go, yeah, great, you're going to be our lead success manager.
Or if they spoke up and said, I think we should do this, they're like, quieten down.
Yeah.
We're not listening to you right now. Give it 5 years, then we'll listen to you.
Well, how's it going to come across to, like a big player at Nike if they get on a call with their head of client success and it's a 22-year-old lad, Like it's the expectation there is very different to how we work, which is very meritocratic. Like at the end of the day, if you're good, we really want you to progress quickly because it's going to help us grow.
We want to pay you more.
And our
we want to give you more benefits.
Yeah, and our clients don't mind. They just want the best results. So if you're really good, you're going to drive better results for our clients. You're going to give them better experience. That's all our clients care about. And that's all we care about. So there is progression available here, which is, in my opinion, unlike what you can do at a lot of other different companies, because we are just looking to grow so quickly, and we can only do that with talented people at the wheel.
And we're aware of that. Like, we want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
We want it to be we want to keep this. I think Amazon, Jeff Bezos has like day one mentality.
Right.
It's like it's always day one at Amazon, even now.
Yeah.
Probably isn't, but like
not quite.
They're a big business now, but we want to keep it that way as well. We want to say, we always want to be fast paced, always want to be meritocratic. We always want to give people the opportunity to succeed and move up really quickly in their career. In terms of the kind of skills we're looking for, just give everyone a rundown, people who are watching this, if they're thinking about working at Decipher or thinking about joining us as a marketing executive or client success rep, what kind of skills are really important that we are looking for? Yeah,
I mean, I was actually going to ask you in terms of the general idea of, like, what would you rather see, because obviously you're head of the marketing team.
Yeah.
What would you rather see? Somebody that's had 4 years of advertising experience as a marketing executive at a big agency, but hasn't really had much hands-on time with campaigns, and they've been used to sort of working on really small things and letting other people do the rest. Or someone straight out of uni, or not even out of uni, they've just come straight out of school and they have a massive hunger to go and achieve a career in marketing, go and achieve success in marketing. They've dabbled with their own campaigns. Maybe they nagged an uncle that they knew that ran a business and said, let me run a really small campaign. They've watched loads of YouTube videos. They're fascinated by it, but they've just never had the opportunity to get hands-on. I mean, I'll answer the question for you. I know what your answer would be. It's going to be the person that has that drive.
Oh, we call them entrepreneurs, don't we?
Right.
We want people who have those entrepreneurial tendencies. Yes, when we grow, there will be room for people who are very experienced and have those skills with Meta ads or Google ads when we have those bigger clients. But right now, if you have a good experience, you can still come and apply. But right now, it's more of the soft skills that we're looking for.
Right.
And whether or not you have Meta ads experience or not, whether or not you have agency experience of dealing with the client or not, that's not as much of an issue as do you have high agency? Do you have those entrepreneurial tendencies where you just want to get stuff done, and you really want to come into a company and grab it and grow it yourself?
Yeah.
It's like we want people to come in who actually care and actually want to do a really good job.
Yeah.
I think that's what you were hinting at a little bit
Yeah,
there, wasn't
well,
it?
100%. Yeah, and in short, like, and anyone watching this video, like, if you are enthusiastic and you think you're a talented person, you're motivated, like, don't worry about experience. We can train you. Like, we have the platform here. We have a brilliant team of, industry experts in things which you can move the needle very quickly for businesses. And we are just looking for people that basically watch this video or come across one of our job ads or come across our website or maybe some of our content online and think, yeah, this is a place where I can come in, I can very quickly get exposure to things which I couldn't get exposure to anywhere else, and I just need an opportunity, because we want to give people that opportunity.
I was going to talk a little bit about training.
Yeah.
In terms of, maybe at a bigger company you're given videos to watch and it's like, well, good luck, there you go, that's your
Right.
training. Whereas with us, it's like you have daily calls with whoever your manager is, and your manager is the founder of the company.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
if you want something done, this is a bit off topic, but with Google recently, with Gemini, so
Yeah.
they were obviously behind ChatGPT in terms of their large language models and their AI. So everyone at Google, like Sundar Pichai, the CEO, was saying, like, what's going on? Why are we so behind? It's because it took so long to get everything done. So what happened is the one of the founders, Sergey Brin, came back in and he said, right, I'm taking control of this. I have super majority voting shares or whatever he has. And he took control of it and he assembled a team and he said, we're going to get ahead in AI, which they are now, only because the people that were working on the product could speak to the founder and say, this is taking way too long. Can you get it sorted? Oh yeah, let's just get that sorted now.
Yeah.
So I'm not comparing us to Google, maybe one day, but in that sense, things move a lot quicker when you can actually speak to one of the founders or someone high up at the company every day and just get things moving.
Yeah.
And be very quick with it.
Yeah, of course. And we went on a bit of a tangent, but to answer your question properly, in terms of the specific skills we're looking for, I mean, our core behaviours at Decipher Marketing are communication, innovation, and agency.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we were to break a couple of those down, we're moving very quickly. Communication is so important for us because to move quickly, we need quick, concise communication, which is incredibly clear for us all to understand. And that can literally be as micro as when I'm conveying an idea to you, I'm conveying it very clearly so you understand my thought process and we can move quickly on something.
Yeah.
It also means that if you have a great idea, we really encourage you implementing your ideas, but communication is about telling, if you're working with Ollie, you're telling Ollie that you're going to do it. All you need is like, yeah, that's great. Oh, have you thought about doing it that way though? And that's great communication from both parts. And that just allows us to progress quicker and just have more success in whatever we're doing. Innovation, well, we spoke about it a lot, right? And that sort of ties into what I've just said, is that
Comes with iteration as well, which is
Right.
another eye.
Yeah.
That innovation is mainly done through that volume and that iteration.
Yeah.
Where we can't just sit there and think of a really big grand idea and just act on it.
Yeah.
I would say the innovation for us comes through that iteration and it's small improvements every day. And because
Yeah.
we're communicating really well and operating with speed, that innovation looks huge over a long time horizon. But if you look day to day, it's like, oh, well, they've innovated there a tiny bit. They've done that a tiny bit. And then that compounds up into really huge innovation.
Yeah, exactly. And as you say, it's compounding, but it's also, it's the desire to innovate even if you already have something really good. So 6 months ago, our product was great. All our clients were really happy. And if we just kicked our feet up and said, that's great, like we can call it there. But the product looks like almost completely different to 6 months ago, right, in the strides we've made. But that's just because we didn't settle for good. Like, we're constantly thinking, well, how can we make it 1% better? Or how can we save ourselves 1% of time next time?
That's the reason we're doing these videos.
Yeah,
You
right.
know? We could have just written a job ad out there and posted a job ad, but instead we're making high production quality videos and actually trying to get to people using that medium.
Yeah.
It comes down to our front end marketing as well for the pods as well. We could just make a load of ads of like, let's say, a picture of the offer with some writing, or we could do what we've done. Some people might have seen our crazy ads where we go out into the field and we do fast editing and things like that. And then we have the testimonial ads as well. And we get those testimonials from clients, and we get reviews on both platforms, on Trustpilot and Google. It's also a really good point. Well, the reason why we do the pods, that it could be it's a lot easier for us just to have one brand, which is Decipher Marketing, and have clients come through Decipher Marketing, hires come through Decipher Marketing, and then all the social media is on one page. Oh, that's really easy. And we've had conversations about this before, and we've said, well, actually, the hardest way is probably the best way because no one else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So if we have all these sub-brands, it's going to be an absolute nightmare, but no one else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why we'll win.
Yeah, as you say, it's sometimes been really tempting to make it less complex.
Yeah.
Because it makes our lives easier.
It's finding that middle ground.
But yeah, sometimes, exactly as you say, just because it makes our lives easier, it doesn't mean it's going to be more successful. And it might be a bit of a headache, but that's why it will work.
Yeah.
Because no one else is willing to put up with the headache, and we are. The last skill or key behaviour of ours is agency. And you've touched on it a bit, but what does agency mean to us? Well, it's really, and again, they all tie into each other, but it ties into innovation, but the want to innovate and not being be told to innovate, right? So if you find something that you think can be improved or have an idea, there's a very different style of thinking if you want to just point out that idea and then just do nothing about it. Or if you have the agency to go and try and do it first, or try and come up with a solution that you can then bring to someone that maybe has the skills in the company to do it, and maybe you can't do that yourself. But it's about having that go get it attitude where you want to do something and you're going to go and do it, and it might involve you going and learning in something new over a very quick period of time, or it might involve you going and reaching out to someone else in the company that can do something that you can't. But that's what agency is just initiative, really.
We want people who can speak up as well.
Right.
But what we don't want is people, let's say they've worked at Decipher for a month and they're going home every day and they're saying to their girlfriend, oh, I really hated that. Like, they don't I've got this really good idea, but I don't think that they're going to like it. It's like, if you come to us and you say, I don't like the way this is being done, or I think this could be changed, we're all ears and we want to hear that, and we will change the company and mould the company to basically how our employees shape the vision.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's a line that we can draw there in terms of what we say and what they say, but we want it all to be a joint effort to grow this company. Like, no one is better than each other, or no one, just because someone's a manager and someone's a junior marketing executive, it doesn't mean they're worth more or they're any better than the other person. It just means they have less experience. And there's plenty of opportunity for the junior marketing executive to become a manager. There's no reason why that can't happen.
Yeah, well, I think we have some good ideas, but we don't have all the ideas, unfortunately.
No. And we can't do all the work either.
We can't do all the work, and we can't have all the ideas. And especially you and I, we've been in the weeds of this business for so long that sometimes it takes someone to come in who can look up above the weeds and see something completely different. And that can sometimes be quite cliche, but when we're moving so quick, that really is the case. And we see it happen a lot. But we need smart people that can come in and say, well, have you thought about this? Not worried that they've only been at the company 10 days.
Yeah. Confidence.
Yeah.
If you're a talented, enthusiastic, motivated individual, we're always looking for people like you at Decipher Marketing. If our vision of what we're trying to achieve resonated with you in any way, then make sure to visit our website and check out our open roles, and we'd love to hear from you.